Today, we become legends.
Today's Titan Talk went over some OB22 hotfixes, as well as some questions about the next roadmap for the game, Sunder, Time to Kill, and the Smite 1 Conquest map, as well as a whole lot more. So without further ado, let's jump into the recap. First up, those hotfixes. Kukulkan has been re-enabled after they disabled him for a bit because he was cooked for the client but not for the server, so essentially the server didn't know he existed, which caused a lot of weirdness, but he's re-enabled now. Kabrakan's aspect has been re-nerfed. For some reason on the launch patch, his nerfs have been reverted but are now back in place. The Conquest tutorial being broken has been fixed as well. The owl that was missing from Sylvanas' idle animations is now back. Fenrir showing us using action cam in Spectator has been fixed. Dashi showing up as November 4th in-game is being fixed. It's not live right now, but they're working on getting that fixed. Moving on though, Sylvanas' new Twitch drop skin will be going live on Saturday and will run for 2 weeks as a drop. They've also said that it will be available at normal skin pricing for those who missed the drop but still want the skin. Someone asked for a roadmap of the next few updates like we got last time now that Sylvanas is done, and Kilgun said he does plan to do something like that on Monday next week. He said it won't be as big or in-depth of a roadmap as last time because the timing around the Christmas break coming up for the team, and they're working on some more long-term projects right now that they don't have firm dates for, but there should be some kind of roadmap next Monday. Someone asked about the original Season 10 Smite 1 map that was shown in the Smite 2 pre-alpha days and why they didn't stick with that, and Kilgun said that mainly it was because that was very much just a rough copy-paste of the map and was far from complete and mainly just used for demo purposes. But Kilgun also said that they wanted the game to have its own unique map and identity and not just a copy-paste of what people have been playing on Smite 1 for the last year at that point. He also said they are aware of the complaints about the current map and comparisons to Smite 1 and wants feedback on what the community feels is strictly worse about Smite 2's map, as he has mostly heard that it's game pacing issues but would like to know exactly what feels worse about Conquest in Smite 2 compared to Smite 1. Time to Kill was brought up as it's been a discussion point in the community lately, and Kilgun said he's not a gameplay designer and someone like Pod or Clumsy would have more informed opinions on this, but he personally feels like it's not as different to Smite 1 than some people say it is, but he agrees it might get a little too short in the late game due to stacking 3k potions, which is another issue in itself. Someone asked if we could get aspects that change more like the Fat Loki one, and Killigan said they personally don't view aspects as something that has to change a bunch of things and be a brand new kit or anything like that. Some of the simpler ones can also be valuable, and they want to find a balance between the more complex aspects and the simpler ones, and they are aware of some older aspects that probably do need another pass, such as the Loki aspect changes that were done recently. Someone asked if they could do a purely buff character that deals no damage or CC but just buffs everyone up, and Kilgun said it's an interesting idea, but the issue with those kinds of designs is that their impact is never felt, which makes them fly under the radar a lot. For example, Nike's free passive stats that had to be significantly nerfed because it was causing Nike to win way more games than any other god despite her actual kit feeling fine. Just those passive stat buffs have enough of an impact over the course of a match that she ended up winning a lot more than people felt like she should, just based on like how much damage her abilities do and whatnot. An all buffs character would have similar issues and would probably feel extremely weak because their numbers would have to be small enough to not just win the game on their own from invisible buffs. Someone asked for updates on the next Saga, and Killigan said they are working on one right now. The first Saga did really well, the second one did just okay, so they'll go for this one and then see how it goes from there. Someone asked about being able to ping abilities, items, or relics to give info on the cooldown to your team, and Kilgun said he does want to get that in at some point, but it is very much a PC only feature as it would be extremely hard to use effectively on console, and with the limited time they have, they generally don't like prioritizing features that will impact only one platform. There was a question about 120 FPS on console, and Kilgun said he does want to get that in at some point, but more optimizations need to be done before that happens, as currently consoles can't even run the game at 120 FPS consistently anyway, so it wouldn't be much of a help. Someone asked if they could change Ward's place to an overall vision score that includes things like counter warding, Heimdall's sight, and other vision elements, and they didn't really get to an answer on that, but the idea was entertained. Someone asked about Persephone's plants and if they're hard to add to the game because they're pets, and Killigan said they are actually surprisingly annoying to make work, but they're technically deployables, not pets, so they don't have the same kind of AI that's needed for a full-fledged pet, but they are still a bit of a pain to make work. Sunder was brought up quite a bit, and Killigan said that generally he's not super qualified to answer questions about core game design things like Sunder, but next time they have a gameplay designer on the show, they could probably have a better answer for us. But that's everything discussed on today's Titan Talk. Don't forget to drop a like before you leave, and I'll catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.